Today, a law firm representing more than 300 women filing a lawsuit against local hospitals for allegedly protecting an OB/GYN who was sexually abusing patients. Many of the women, the lawsuit says, sent to him because he was one of the few doctors in the area who spoke Spanish. One of the alleged survivors telling her harrowing story to our Maggie Vespa, and a warning to our viewers, the story contains graphic descriptions of sexual abuse.
That I'm like, oh my God, is there more like me?
Tonight in Chicago, a legal reckoning rocking former patients of a one-time trusted doctor turned convicted sexual abuser and taking aim at the hospitals who attorneys argue turned a blind eye as he for years abused hundreds of patients, most of them Latina, sent to him, attorneys say, because he spoke Spanish.
Women reported. They reported again and again and again.
Attorneys addressing reporters today after filing this lawsuit on behalf of Jane Doe 300, one anonymous woman among attorneys say in the complaint 300 plus, who they say were abused by now former OB/GYN Dr. Fabio Ortega at North Shore University Health System and Swedish Covenant Hospital. The suit, the latest chapter in Ortega's legal saga. Back in 2021, the now 77-year-old pleaded guilty to sexually abusing 2 patients. He was sentenced to 3 years in prison. This suit now claiming he targeted hundreds more, dating as far back as 1989.
Many of his patients were Spanish-speaking. Minors, children, pregnant, immigrants, or Medicare patients. He knew that these patients would trust his white coat.
The lawsuit detailing allegations of the disturbing experiences of several patients, alleging Ortega performed unnecessary pelvic exams, asked patients intrusive questions about their sex life, and in one case inserting his fingers into a patient's vagina, comparing his fingers to the size of her husband's penis. The suit also describes how patients allegedly reported abuse to nursing assistants, family physicians, and even Chicago police, but Ortega continued working. NBC News reached out to Chicago PD. We have not received a response.
Billion-dollar institutions like Swedish and North Shore have a duty to protect patients that look to them for care and treatment. Instead, they place profits over patient safety.
The hospitals, now owned by Endeavor Health, tell NBC News we have enhanced and continue to improve and evolve our processes and policies to ensure we have an environment that supports reporting of threatened or actual abuse. Adding, our policies require we investigate all allegations of abuse that are reported to us.
What's that emotion? Like, how does that make you feel to read where this case is going now?
Angry. Because they knew what was going on.
Among the women quoted in the lawsuit, a 48-year-old mother from Mexico who asked to remain anonymous, explaining,
I have 2 daughters that I haven't told them what I went through.
The suit describing how in 2018, an employee at North Shore Hospital told her Ortega retired. It continues, North Shore did not share with her that Ortega had just lost his medical license for sexually abusing patients. Today, attorneys say she's far from alone.
Did the hospitals ever reach out to patients, especially after he pleaded guilty to abusing 2 of them, to let them know that this had happened and ask if they had been victimized?
They didn't, and instead they continued to cover up and conceal.
NBC News asked Endeavor Health about the allegation that hospitals never alerted patients. They didn't answer that question.
The hospitals, I feel like they don't care about us, like Spanish or women, Latinas. You teach your kids to be careful when they go out. But how can you prevent this, tell them, be afraid of your doctor.
Maggie joins us now from Chicago. Maggie, the allegations in this lawsuit, they're devastating. These attorneys say they've got more than 300 alleged survivors, but they're only filing on behalf of one of them. Why is that?
Well, simply put, Tom, we asked them that question, and they just said more are coming. They didn't want to say how many more. They didn't want to say when they might come. We asked why this wasn't being filed as a class action lawsuit with everybody kind of at once. And the attorney told me it's because with class action suits, everyone essentially gets the same payout. They get the same damages. And when it comes to sexual abuse, every experience is different. Every impact is different. Therefore, they want every plaintiff, every alleged survivor to be treated uniquely. So it seems like they're going one by one. And again, they say they have more than 300. And Tom, you and I both know these are attorneys who we remember from past high-profile, very public cases before. In particular, they represented victims of now disgraced, now former USA gymnastics doctor Larry Nassar. So again, they've been in the public spotlight before. They've gone after and gotten big payouts before. And it seems like in this case, Tom, they are only getting started.
And one of the more disturbing allegations, of course, that the doctor essentially and allegedly targeted women who didn't speak English.